Hello, my name is Juliana Aguirre Cardona, and my partner is Andrea Leguizamo Girard. We are students of the University of Quindío in the Public Accounting program, and we are in our fourth semester. This exposition is presented to Marcela Ocampo Sanz. Eh, we are going to talk about auditing and forensic coding. We choose this topic because we like it, it is entertaining, and it is useful for organization. The corporate fraud that occurred during the 90s and 2000s of generate concern about whether organizations and the fraud control system were really effective. Various scandals at the international level create the need to review the frameworks of rules and laws in order to better regulate companies, government, authority firms, stock exchanges, and other economic bodies. Nowadays, legal frameworks require more complex legal processes and it is necessary to use reliable forensic audit methodologies and techniques based on high technology tools. Today, for public and private sector organizations, is great value you have professionals certified as forensic auditors who protect the organizations from fraud behavior. The concept of forensic audit is composed of two terms that define its function. Audit is the review of a company's accounting to ensure the accuracy of the accounts. Forensic is comes from ancient Rome, where religious, political, and legal activities were carried out in the main square. In these forums, public business was also dealt with and trials were held. Therefore, when a profession serves as a support to justice, it is called forensic. Forensic auditing is a discipline that serves as an advisor to those who administer justice, investigate, and obtain evidence about the existence of a financial crime or relating to the organization's assets. Its function is to evaluate the organization's processes by revealing irregularities, accessions, and abnormal behavior patterns. Objective of the forensic audit: identify cases of fraud, participate in the design and creation of fraud prevention programs, evaluation of internal control system, investigation and collection of evidence to be put in the hands of the judicial authority, prevent and reduce cases of fraud uh, through the implementation of recommendation and advice through internal control actions in the company. Discipline related to forensic auditing, according criminal law, la religion, criminology, and research. Approaches of the forensic auditing. Forensic auditing differs from other styles of auditing because it has a flexible methodological scheme. The phases, techniques, professional profiles, and procedures is varied depending on the characteristics of the fraud. However, it maintains a legal ordering approach that makes it possible to obtain reliable evidence. Preventive approach. This is done in order to prevent and dissuade irregularities and indicators of existence of fraud. Also to create anti-fraud programs and controls. Detective approach. Used when there are indications that a crime is suspected and it focuses on obtaining evidence that proves some fact in a legal way. By means of in-depth investigation, the following aspects are established. 1. Determine the amount of fraud. 2. Direct and indirect effects. 3. Possible classification. 4. Presumed authors. 5. Accomplished and covert acts. Process of a forensic audit. Audit planning, arrest of signs, research, obtaining evidence, sustentation legal element of evidence, um, issuance of audit report and legal process. Finally, we can say that the forensic audit is of great importance since it aims to reconstruct the financial events that have already occurred. That is, it is aiming at presenting evidence and proof the judges. Therefore, it constitutes a useful tool for the detection of criminal behavior in organizations. Given that forensic auditing is becoming increasingly important due to the constant corruption that threatens organizations, it is essential that both business people and allowing professional behavior of the usefulness of this type of audit and learn the proper procedures for applying it correctly.
The next topic we are going to deal with is background of forensic accounting. Forensic accounting can be so old that it is born when legal is linked to accounting record and evidence. The Code of Hammurabi of Babylon, the first legal document known to men, in some of its fragments hints at the basic concept of forensic accounting, proving with accounting documentation a fraud or a lie. But this didn't have so much significance until in the 1930s, when Al Capone was arrested, a character dedicated to criminal practices and money laundering, until an accountant from the tax department began to search for evidence. Until an accountant from the tax department began to search for evidence, finding a large amount of evidence. such as the payment book, with which it was possible to verify that the silent volume exceeded the theoretical capacity of the laundry business. In fact, the real sales volume and the declared sales volume were totally distant. With this, the pronunciation was able to demonstrate fraud in the payment of taxes by Al Capone, his lauders, and thus dismantle this organization. Already with the Watergate case in 1972, the analysis of fraud in financial statements began. This scandal provided an important boost and direction against administrative fraud and misleading financial disclosures. In this way, forensic accounting arises with attempt to detect and correct fraud in financial statements. Its initial function is strictly economic financial, and the immediate cases are found in the judicial appraisals and the hiring of expert accountants by official banks. Currently, it has expanded its field of action to the extent that it has application of justice, in which the judicial branch official base his decision of evidence provided by experts. Although these they must become forensic accountants, whereby the product of forensic accounting is specialized accounting expert evidence. So, what is forensic accounting? Forensic accounting is a science that allows gathering and presenting accounting, financial, legal, and administrative information, which provides an accounting analysis that will be accepted by the court, since it will form part of the debit, and finally, the opinion of the sentence, a guide, delinquency, and economic crime. It is also a specialized discipline that requires expert knowledge in accounting theories, auditing, and criminal investigation techniques. It is an important branch of investigative accounting, used in the reconstruction of financial facts, fraud investigation, economic damage calculation, and financial projection returns. When in the execution of audit tasks, financial management, informatics, tax, environmental, or governmental. Significant financial fraud is detected and it is due, mandatory, or decided optional. To delve into them, it is venturing into the called a forensic audit. Multidisciplinary forensic teams. The work teams must establish the facts to be able to reconstruct, document, and support the facts before whoever recurs the investigation and its eventual presentation before a competent judge. It is very important to maintain the chain of custody of the original documents to keep the evidence intact. It is advisable to keep an inventory of documents and to work with copies of those documents. The investigation at this point includes the preparation of spreadsheets, chronologies, flowcharts documenting the cycles or process, drafts obtaining the facts through interviews or interrogation, and the preparation of a written narrative of how the crime occurred. It seemed very important to use to publicize this issue, since forensic accounting is not arranged to accounting as well now in Colombia as in other parts of the world. In addition, because it can help the judges a lot at the time of issuing an opinion about an economic financial crime and help with the expert opinion of the information that must be collected to carry outside investigation.